Sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon' shake that, 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 shit, yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, sit that, right there, don't go nowhere, say yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, sit that, right there, don't go nowhere, baby gon'. Welcome back, we back with another reaction video. Today we are reacting to a wannabe terrorist realizes he isn't about that life. This is a Red Tree Stories video. Let's get right into it.
On September 7th, 2020, Justin Moore was questioned by two FBI agents in connection with a plot to burn down the Seattle Police Department. The FBI believes that during the Labor Day parade, Justin walked into a crowd carrying a box of 12 Molotov cocktails, left the box on the ground, and walked away.
I don't know if you can see it, but I'm kind of scraped up on my elbow.
Okay, do we
If I could get like an alcohol swab or something?
take a look at it? Yeah, sure. Let me see.
It's just an abrasion. I'll be all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
I am seriously just overwhelmed.
Yeah, I've been vaccinated, so
Okay.
mask on for it.
So I'm gonna close this.
At this point, breathing heavily on me might be better.
Go ahead.
I'm just announcing right now that I'm not a flight risk. If you want to press charges, that's fine. I just want a chance to marry the girl so I can maybe power through the sentence.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
And look, we're not unreasonable ogres. So I understand where you're coming from, and I understand this is very stressful.
Yeah.
Why don't we'll work through this, and then we'll talk about this.
Okay.
Does that sound good? Just so we can get that procedure
I
done.
also, just in the spirit of cooperation, want to like lay out some like ground rules. If you ask a question that I don't want to answer, I'll
We can
just
get
respond with lawyer,
Okay.
and then like we can just move on to the next question. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna like clam down.
The agents explain that they work for the FBI's terrorist task force,
Okay.
and they read Justin his rights. Despite claiming that they were just props, Justin is being investigated for creating 12 functioning Molotov cocktails and bringing them to a protest.
I just kind of wanted to lay just kind of the foundation of about you, and then kind of go into what I told you. Remember, I told you in the car what you were being arrested for was the investigation regarding the possession of the Molotov cocktails during the Labor Day March in September of 2020.
I don't want to put up any resistances. I don't, you trying to analyze me as a person and possibly as a threat, and I want you to look as far in my brain as you can, realize that I'm fucking not.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I love my country. I love people in general. I'm not violent.
Yeah, and so I was trying to understand kind of like, and that's why I was asking, you know, what you did in the military and some of your jobs, trying to understand how we got to Justin Moore of Labor Day 2020. I mean, it seems like I was trying to understand the shift of where you were.
That was
how you
more
got
or
there.
less manipulation.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The Molotovs, as you could see, were not functional. They didn't have a corking mechanism at all. Like, they were just there to look pretty, attract a smell, and get me a reputation so that people that were starting trouble, people that were throwing rocks would come to me and I could more easily identify them. I never intended to make a functional weapon.
Okay.
How did you, I guess, it kind of backing up, so I was under the impression that you were there in support of kind of like the anti-capitalist, social justice type direct action people. Okay.
When I was in Army Basic
That's a great
in
note.
Fort Benning, something happened and I got really assaulted, and it was kind of violent. It didn't really have a sexual feel to it.
I mean, you got assaulted.
I was pagan at the time in spiritual belief structure, and some individuals didn't like that very much, and they decided to make the witch boy ride a broom. So that happened, and I reported it the next day, and they discharged me, and I felt robbed.
Wait. He got violated with a broom. And he gets discharged? What about the people that did it to him? What? Huh? Like, I really hope he's lying. But unfortunately, with the military's past, a lot of people be getting assaulted in the military. It's very sad. What is wrong with you degenerate people?
Because I'm brave. I'm smart. I'm a good man, and I wanted to help my country where it was hurting then, which was a pointless war. And then they discharged me from the Army, and I felt like I was robbed of a chance to like be honorable. Because of what happened to me in the Army, I started developing PTSD symptoms. And then that resulted in me ultimately becoming liability, just because of inconsistent behavior, inconsistent sleep. My PTSD's made it very, very difficult to have relationships of any kind.
I see.
Yeah.
And
Friendships or romantic relationships or that kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's even work environments, it's hard to hold a job because knowing what's socially okay and what's socially not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But honestly, I've always wanted to help my country. I've never ever betrayed her, and I would never.
Justin explains that all he's ever wanted was to help his fellow Americans, so he would join a variation of groups and participate in multiple protests. Eventually, Justin's stories bring him to the Labor Day parade.
I never intended harm on anybody, not even the people that I had to physically engage.
The Labor Day March, was that
I'm not even sure when that was, but like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was the march that started in the International District. When you're saying they weren't even like real Molotov cocktails, I mean, I noticed you had the Corona box. That was interesting, full of Coronas. Was that like just trash, or did you actually buy a bunch of beer?
No, I bought a bunch of beer.
Wow, that's investment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
some
not
trash
really,
beer.
but
And then, all right, so you get those, and did you know how to construct a Molotov cocktail? Did you know any of that? The parts
I mean,
of that?
like I was an infantryman. Like knowing how to construct weaponry is kind of
Your thing?
it. Well, that's my thing,
No.
but like it's pretty common knowledge, you know. Like you have to cork it so you don't blow yourself up when you light it. You know what I mean?
What was it corked with?
Nothing.
Oh, it didn't have anything. Did it
Right.
have a wick or anything?
It had rags, but like that's not. It's not enough to like
To
prevent you from blowing yourself up if trying to use them.
Okay.
And I only waved them around to get people to recognize that I was waving them around and like get some notoriety so that the hard hitters throwing the fucking rocks would like come towards me, and then I could head the problems off before they fucking start.
Okay.
And you ended up setting those down in a parking lot.
No, I set those down when the crowd was moving away from that location,
Right.
and the police were closing in on it, almost
Yes.
handing them to you.
So you're just
Deliberately getting rid of them so that they would not be used.
Okay. Okay.
um,
I guess.
did they have a fuel component in them?
It was just regular gas or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
No mix.
No.
Okay. Sometimes you see that. Sometimes when people make Molotov cocktails.
So confused. Brother, if you wasn't intending to use the Molotov cocktails, why make real ones? Why use of fuel? Why not just put water in them? The hell wrong with this man? Go.
They'll say add
Yeah, I never
other items
bothered to
into the fuel.
I never really bothered to Google it. I just knew how to make one that wasn't one.
Okay.
That way, if this ever happened, I could explain what the fuck I'm doing.
Okay. Okay, so you arrived there that date. Did you, because you weren't living where you are now when you had those?
No,
when you made
I was
it.
homeless.
Did you take them on a bus? Did you drive yourself down? Did you?
No, I just took them from my tent. But
So you were living up. Where were you living in a tent?
so I could show you on a map maybe.
Okay.
But it was a park nearby.
In Seattle.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing from you is that was all you. The whole thing was all you, right? You bought the beer. You got the gas. You got the wicks. There's nobody else that was involved. Really? Okay.
Justin claims that the only reason he brought a box of explosives was to get the attention of the violent protesters and draw them away from the crowd. I'm not sure how carrying explosives into a crowd is protecting them, but let's see how Justin explains his thought process.
I was trying to get the attention of heavy hitters so that they would come to me, but most of the people that were seemed halfway organized,
Yeah.
they sniffed me out pretty quick.
Where did your idea come from to do it that way?
Honestly, the frustration of not being able to get in with the heavy hitters to begin with, because I don't want people endangered, and I don't want people fighting. I don't want people fighting a civil war. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Would a change in government be nice? Yeah, but dude, we don't have to do that by the sword. This is 2021.
Mm-hmm.
They're Iceland just did it. I'm pretty sure non-violently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that's what people want, go ahead. I kind of don't want that, because then all my money that I get every month goes away. Just saying.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of socially awkward, and when I tried to get in with any kind of crowd and deliberately, it seemed hella suspect.
Right.
And I kind of reek of Marine.
Mm-hmm.
So people are cop,
Let it go.
on me all the time. And
So you were
was
trying to
frustrated.
build a reputation by carrying the 12-pack.
Right.
Okay.
So that I could more readily identify problem people before the protest starts and get them out of there.
And then after you were down by the spog, and then you left,
Mm-hmm.
and then did you go back to your tent? What did you do after that? I mean,
I think I went and we went and we D-blocked at a park or something like that.
Okay.
I'm not sure if
that's
you're familiar.
consistent with what a lot of people did. Judkins Park. A lot of people marched a long way, and that's kind of where everybody ended up. So
Yeah. Then I got a ride from a friend, and I don't really remember the rest of the day.
Okay. What was his name?
I'd rather not say. The people I did know at the protest, when I showed up with those, almost everybody instantly started hating on me.
Really?
Because everybody that I knew and was associating with at the time, I was trying to calm everything down, and then all of a sudden changing script. Why?
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I had a strategy, but
Did you march with any of them? On the way in or out?
I mean, sure, it's a big ass crowd.
No, I meant the people who specifically were.
Who knew me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were there. Some people, but
Yeah. I mean, it was a big group. It was a big
Yeah.
crowd.
yeah.
It appears that Justin just wanted to be a part of something, but due to his lack of social awareness, he found it difficult to fit in. When others went to the protest carrying signs, Justin brought explosives. Even here in the interrogation room, Justin offers to help the police by working together with them to take down other possible threats.
If you showed me photos
Mm-hmm.
of people who you thought were a threat, right? And like wanted to like share information about them with me. Like I'd be willing to like go and talk to the threats and help you out. Like I don't mind.
I'm so confused about this guy. Why would he not just join the police after getting discharged instead of doing whatever the hell this is? Vigilanteism, I guess. I can't even call it that. Bro, what vigilante, brings Molotov cocktails into a crowd of protesters? What the
Mind diffusing threats.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't want to spend years of my life in prison for trying to help. I understand the necessity for violent threats to be handled. And I assume that's why we're here, like you're analyzing me for such a threat. I absolutely do not mind helping. Like, this isn't just about me. Like, I'm a tool that can be used to help others.
Right.
Well, yeah, at that point, lawman sits me down and says, hey, you're in f***ing trouble. I'm like, okay. And then my woman's like, dude, what the f***? And I'm like, all right, fair. And
I thought he was so awkward and didn't have fragile relationships.
If I were to live my life the way I want to, farmhand, rest of my life, I just want to go home to my woman.
Talking about hypotheticals.
We've been talking about kids.
We've been talking about kids. You got.
And she doesn't want me involved in anything, even remotely dangerous.
So why would you do this?
Like, let alone anything that's gonna be against people who can take me away from her, aka you, or any law enforcement. It's just, and I'm with that. I'm not going to commit any crimes. I wasn't gonna commit any more crimes regardless of today's events. If you have information on individuals that you're investigating and you want additional information from me, that's fine. That's fine. Absolutely fine. I just need to know who the fuck you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you want to see like what we already know, kind of.
No, not even. Like, you just show me a picture. What do you know about that guy?
So if we asked you, if we put a picture before you and said, was this person involved in the planning and and such, the planning and manufacture of the Molotov cocktails on?
You mean the decoys?
Yes, the decoys, whatever you want to call them.
Well, they were ineffective, so calling them Molotov cocktails kind of.
That's how we're gonna charge you. So
it's
it don't
a device that has been deemed by experts within the government to have been functional in nature. So they have already been.
That's not something I intended to do.
So I'm just saying, it's like putting if you didn't know how to put a firearm together and you just happen to make a workable firearm, it's a workable firearm, right? So
me. Oh.
Bro, what kind of corn acting? Man, look. Listen. He trolling. And that's on me. There's no way you think I'm going for this. I didn't know it was a... Bro, you put fuel in it. The man said, oh, well, it wasn't properly completed because there wasn't a cork in it. So if it did get lit, it would just blow up. So you made a UNI bomb. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? If any of those would have got out of your possession and then got lit, bro, it would have been over with. You tripping.
Me.
So that's why I'm.
Oh my God.
Right. So that's why I was trying to talk about it.
Dude.
I don't want to see that.
Oh my God.
If you need to.
Get him a trash can.
No. For the love of God, no. They just had a rag That was it. And there was a thin rag meant to get smell out. Like if anyone attempted to light that shit, it would have blown up immediately.
That's problematic,
Like,
stupid.
The intent was to not get it near anything and just get my reputation up and get that shit the away from people who might actually throw them.
That might have been.
And like,
that might have been what you were told.
if I'm going to be used, like the people that I'm discussing need to not know I discussed them.
Mm-hmm. So it was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And
Then if, like, right now I kind of look like a snitch, but I didn't dime anybody out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if I want to not go to prison forever, like, I'll do whatever it takes.
Well, you're
I
talking
need to,
about like future stuff, but
if you construct proper ones, then one, that's terrorism.
Well,
Like, don't do that.
And the decoys are.
So
And
there,
two, like, I was trying to, like, draw people out that were rowdy towards me so that I could then identify them and get the rest of the crowd to remove them before protests start.
which is very similar to what you told the Seattle Police Department on the day of your arrest at the Starbucks.
Yeah, it
You got arrested at Starbucks?
was a continued strategy until it became clear that the law doesn't care about that strategy and I should stand the f down. And I did so.
A search warrant was executed on Justin's home, and in the basement, police found numerous items used in the manufacturing of explosive devices. They also recovered a notebook filled with directions on building the explosives. The FBI believes that Justin did not act alone, so they are doing their best to get names of any possible accomplices.
Like, I talk to people like, you know, talking myself up, like, you know, hey, look at these things that I'm bringing to the party. Look at how badass I am.
Like days before or weeks before or
Days, probably. There's so many people that, like, when they see shit happening in front of them that's all intense, then they just, like, get all fired up, I guess. I don't know how to just... And, like, they'll just, like, promise 8 million things and come through with none of it.
Okay.
And, like, I assume that from the reactions I got from other folks that that's probably what...
so they were surprised to actually see him.
Oh, yeah. Like, a few people got hostile,
Okay.
like, immediately.
And that's because they'd kind of been talking about it before.
No, they just smelled it and they're like, what the
Yeah.
I never intended to make anything that was going to classify as a destructive device. I tried specifically to avoid that. Tried very specifically to avoid that.
Are you stupid?
So that I wouldn't be here. You know, I don't want
Put fuel in it.
anything
Stupid.
bad to happen to people who don't deserve it or haven't done anything directly to harm anyone and never will. You know, like, I don't want any of those people to be with, you know, and if there are plenty of individuals in the protest community where if you pointed them out and you said, do you know about this dude or any of the things that he did, like, I can probably fill in gaps that, like, you're missing in other investigations as well. Like, I just let's iron out the flat edges, because I don't want to look like I'm not cooperating. I don't want to be uncooperative, and I don't want violent threats walking around either.
Right. We are quite confident, as Steve has said, we are quite confident that you didn't do this alone. And we have pretty good ideas, pretty good evidence on all this stuff. And it's trying to figure out if we're going to get to that spot, so that we can say, yep, we talked to Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, what he said, it actually, is lockstep in what we already knew.
So we think he's telling us.
So we think he's telling us the truth.
He's being upfront with us.
So that when he says something in the future to a judge or a prosecutor or whatever, they go, well, he has been truthful in the past, so at least we can kind of hang our hat on that.
You're trying to say that there was other people involved in the planning process of this, but there really wasn't. I'm not trying to be dishonest or interrupt the investigation. I'm just trying to be a good citizen, get the lowest sentence I possibly can,
Well,
carry it out, and then I don't want to be anything less than a star citizen. My life plan is very simple. I'm a crippled man, both physically and mentally, and I simply want to get married to the best woman in the world. And I want to raise children with her someday. And if you had to guess on my future,
you know what? It really
15
kind of
to 15.
depends on how everything goes
It's at
forward.
15.
Your prior history is just as far as criminal history is I'm just asking, is just your DUI, right?
DUI,
and the burglary
the
charge
burglary
that's
charge.
still outstanding. That has not been resolved in any way.
Yeah, I just got 100% disability, so now I can pay lawyer fees every month.
Okay.
So I assumed that if a court date was set, that my lawyer would have called me.
Right. So we're seeing all sorts of different things, whether it's that as far as either sentencing or what they're doing. I really couldn't tell you, because it really just depends. I mean, it changes. We've
Just wanted to while I got you gentlemen here, I apologize for the incident at the VA. It's very panicking.
I understand.
yeah. We'll let the team know.
Yeah, we'll let them know.
Yep.
Thanks. I didn't hurt anyone, right?
I haven't had the chance to talk to any of those folks, so I don't know.
Well, if anybody got scraped up or anything like that, please tell them that they're more than welcome to visit me for a face-to-face apology. I definitely didn't want any of that.
Okay.
It was just very panicking, and I didn't know
I'll
what was. Yeah.
yeah, we can pass that on.
Yeah, we'll pass that.
In the end, Justin Moore was sentenced to 3 years in prison for manufacturing explosives and bringing them into a crowd of people. At his sentencing, Justin told the court that he loved his country and he hated to see her in pain. His goals were to end her pain, but he failed miserably. What are your thoughts on this case?
Yeah, his plan wasn't a plan. He had no plan. He's slow. I don't want to talk about a veteran like that. Let me stop. I'm just so confused as to what you were doing, sir. Yeah, let me bring the cocktails to a place with people. They're not real cocktails though, supposedly, allegedly. But my guy, if I can light it on fire and it can blow up, even if it's not usable for its actual purpose, practically, what you normally use a Molotov cocktail for, light it, throw it, explosion, it still can explode. If anybody with bad intentions gets their hands on that, it's a problem. 3 years. I mean, I guess. He kept saying he had no intention to do none. And he was trying to be as cooperative as humanly possible. And he really didn't do all the runaround that people normally do in these interrogations. So hopefully he understands that what he did was wrong, and he tries to be a better person for society. That's all I really got for you, Justin. That was the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video, share your thoughts on the video in the comment section below. Also hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date when I drop videos on this channel. I will catch you on the next one. Stay safe, y'all.
I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, ain't to live is to come. All this pain got me feeling the compass. See, these can't turn me into a monster. Hey, I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, to live is to come. All this pain got me feeling the compass. See, these can't turn me into a monster. I'm a cowboy, can't stop, can't stop. Hey, all that pain got me feeling jaded. Many to roll when to make it. Feel plugged into the mix, but lagging out before the update. Drop back in, different time, same location.